Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And you can share with a friend if you enjoy it and subscribe so you're notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. This week on Today's Homeowner, we're tackling some weekend chores you can't ignore. If you do, this stuff can cost you big money down the road. So stick around and we'll explore some ways to keep those small jobs small. You know, even a great-looking house like this will have just a few things that need to be taken care of, or they'll turn into some very costly repairs. So this week, we're looking at the weekend chores you just can't ignore. And I'll bet if you look closely around your home, you'll find some of the same things that we're going to help homeowner Melanie Robinson repair. Melanie and her family have lived in this house for almost 8 years, and they've done a lot to improve and maintain it. The front yard is beautifully landscaped, and they had a new roof installed just a few years ago. But like most homes, there are some little maintenance issues that can become big things if they're not addressed soon enough. These are cool being right on the corner of the house, but I believe because they're so close to the overhang, could really cause you some problems.
Okay.
This is another thing. The limbs being, again, they're a ways away from the shingles, but when they get wet and then, you know, with wind, it's gonna just blow and scratch those shingles. I'll get on the roof and cut some of that back, and then it'll prevent that from being a problem. So.
That sounds great.
Okay, all right, let's take a look on the other side. Oh, what a nice big patio area out here.
Thank you. We bought the house for this so we could have people over and entertain for birthday parties and all sorts of stuff.
That's great. Rain or shine.
Absolutely.
Hey, admiring your little container garden here. Kind of
Thank
interesting.
you. I worked hard on that.
Seems like it's growing pretty well.
It's doing great.
We'll take care of that in a little while.
Right.
But this is something that I was wanted to point out to you. You know, anytime you have downspouts like this and a lot of water's coming out of here, obviously it's undermining that slab.
Okay.
And then we have the limbs that we need to cut, and probably what I'll do, I'll get a ladder and I'll get up and look around and see if there's anything else that we need to deal with.
Okay.
All right, great.
Thank you.
While I'm preparing to check the roof of the house, Alan has found a few gutter issues on the outbuilding behind Melanie's house.
If you've got gutters on your house, I've got a great weekend chore, and it all starts with inspecting those gutters. You never know what you could find. Here I've got an elbow that's loose from the downspout. I want to make sure that's back in place. What really concerns me, though, look up here. I can actually see I've got leaves coming out of my gutter here. I've got vegetation growing in the gutter. So that tells me I've got to clean these out. When you have a gutter that's full like this, that rushing water coming down here can actually create a backwash and force water back up under the shingles, giving access to damage. You can get the soffit, the fascia rotting out. You may not even know it until it starts happening. One other thing, look how thick this is. I mean, when it's this full and you've got water running down here too, you've got the possibility of this pulling away and again creating access for water.
Back on the roof of the house, things are going well. There is some loose flashing on one of the gable vents, but that can easily be fixed. My big concern is the chimney. I might have to recruit Alan to get over here and help me with this. And that flat roof over the patio is going to require some attention. That's definitely two things we need to take care of right there. Now to fill Melanie in on what I found. All right, that wasn't too bad.
How'd it look up there?
No, not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad. A few things. You know, we know about the limbs we got to take care of.
Right.
And then on the front, you know, you have that little gable. It has the vent in it.
Yeah.
There's a little piece of flashing that's moving. And, you know, with heavy rains and such, it could get in there. Real easy fix. We can take care of that. But we did find something really strange on the back. I took a picture of it so that you could try to see what it looks like here. That's your chimney.
Right.
And that's the shingles right behind it.
Okay.
And that little piece of flashing there that's designed to keep the rain out for some reason has completely turned loose from that chimney.
Okay.
Have you had any water inside?
We did have it once this summer during a heavy rain. We had
really?
some leaking in the chimney.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna take care of it. I know that's the source of it because you can see gaps down in there.
Right.
And then another thing I found here, just a real easy thing that we can clean up, is You see that pile of leaves
Absolutely.
that are just piled up there? I'll get up and blow all of that off. You can be the ground crew.
Okay.
And clean everything up there. And then we might have to address your container garden and do a little.
I thought it looked pretty.
Well, it's unique, but we may want to do some transplanting on that.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
One of the best ways to save energy around your house is to install your own insulation. It's a pretty easy job too, although it does require a lot of cutting. Typically, you have to make cuts like every 3 or 4 feet or 6 or 8 feet, depending on where you're installing the insulation. So the best thing to do is to set up outside if you can, so you keep the dust out of the house. And to use, first you put a board down that you can cut against, and you have a straight edge that you can cut along. Now, even with insulation, this is only R13, but it's about 4 inches thick. If you use a standard utility knife, you can see the challenge. The blade's only about 1 inch long. So what I prefer to use is a utility knife that has a snap-off blade. Now, the way these are designed to be used is you extend the blade. When it becomes dull, you snap it off and you extend another blade. But you can also extend it 3 or 4 inches. What you end up with is this beautiful insulation cutting weapon that will slice through the thickest insulation. So just roll it out, get the length you need, and then what I like to do is kneel on the board to compress it. And then with the long blade, you can very easily slice right through it. There you go, through the insulation and paper. Now if I can just get someone to help install it.
Well, we'll take a look around and see if there's a few things. I did notice this, Melanie. This week we're helping homeowner Melanie Robinson tackle some of those weekend chores you can't ignore. We've scouted the house to find the issues. Now it's time to take on some overly enthusiastic tree limbs that are threatening to damage the new shingles on Melanie's roof. Yeah, if I can get her to cut it away like this a little bit, you won't have to do this for a long time.
And these thin limbs create such a problem because no grass grows over here
Yeah,
either.
no, you're right. I noticed there was very, very little growing over there. This will help get a lot more sun into there as well. Well,
Looks better already.
if I fall, you catch me as well.
I gotcha. Oh, that's a big improvement.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's great.
Very good.
That wasn't too difficult.
That's right. And the husband can take care of that.
So I'll have the husband on the roof. I'll keep taking care of this.
Up near the front, this Japanese yew needs to be trimmed back from the fascia boards a bit.
That's good.
All right, and then this is probably one of the bigger concerns I see.
Okay.
That ground cover growing up around the columns is holding moisture against them and beginning to rot the wood. Oh, look at there. See, it's got a little bit of,
Sure does.
still seems solid, but we want to get some paint on that later.
Okay.
All right, Melanie, now that we have all of this jasmine away, you're still bound to get a little water splashing up here. And I noticed when we were cutting it back, a little crack right in there.
Sure enough.
So I know we got to touch this up later. I got this great exterior caulk that I can just fill in here. That way it'll give it some time to dry before we come back with the paint to touch it up.
Oh, there's a pretty big crack over here.
That's treated wood that they used here and the way that it looks. Have you ever caulked before?
I haven't, but
All
I'll be glad
right.
to try.
Hey, this will be fun. All right, here you go.
Okay.
You're right-handed?
I am.
Okay. All right, just try to put some right in there. Just squeeze. There you go. There you go. Now go right on up. There you go.
How am I doing?
Good, good.
It looks like you hired a new painter.
Yeah, I know it.
Did I
That's
scare you
perfect.
on that one?
I was doing good until you got here.
Yeah.
It looks good, Mel. I like
It's
it.
really good. A little generous with it, but that's okay. That'll
Better
really
too
help.
much than not enough.
Very good.
Hey, I see you found that problem brick mold around back.
Yeah, I did, but instead of the wood, I picked up this plastic polymer.
yeah, there you go.
I was going to show you this, Melanie. If you look, I've already cut the angle on it, so you
Okay.
can see it's all the way through white.
Yeah.
So it's solid, that plastic. It's really nice, but the real nice thing about it, it's the same profile as what's up there now. So I can replace this and you won't even know it.
And it won't soak in, you know, the moisture won't soak in on it, so it'll last forever. Hey,
Right.
go to work.
I will. All right. Now I'm going to be the first to admit to you that replacing a piece of brick mold is not critical. But I have this theory. Let me get down to the bottom here and I'll show you. If you look, of course you can see how bad this is damaged right now, but my problem is that it's not just here, it's here in the door jamb. It's already getting into this. And the brick mold for me is a first line of defense. If you look down here on the ground, you can see there's mold, mildew, so we've got standing water as an issue already. So just replacing this piece of brick mold, you know, again, it may not be critical, but it will help to delay more damage down on the door jamb.
Alan's cutting the caulk line around the molding to minimize damage to the surrounding surfaces when he pries it off. The mitered corners of these doors are stapled together, so he has to pull them apart very carefully.
Let's see how that starts pulling away from here and doesn't hit that tender point.
After he cleans off all the old caulk, he measures the length and then cuts the new brick mold and puts it in its place.
Look at how good that matches.
A few well-placed nails, some putty to cover the heads, and the new molding is ready to caulk.
And there you go. Very little bit of work. That's complete. The only one, let's say, frustrating thing about doing this type of work is that when you look around, there's always something else. Check it out. It looks like I got a little bit more to do for this weekend.
Now, if your deck or your patio is in need of a little facelift, look no further than this aisle right here. I'm in the paint department, and I want to talk to you about Restore. Now, this is a resurfacer that's perfect for your decking or your concrete patio. How do you apply it? Well, it comes in 2-gallon paint cans, and it also comes with this 9-inch heavy-duty textured roller. And all you simply do is just roll it right over the surface. Now, if you do have decking that's got splinters or cracks, Restore will actually fill in those cracks and it'll lock down the splinters. If you've got a slippery concrete patio, this will be great because it creates a textured surface which makes it slip resistant. Now, if you don't want the textured look after you roll it on with this roller, all you have to do is take a brush and you can just go right over the second coat to smooth that out. This is a perfect weekend project that you can do in no time to help transform the look of your outdoor living space.
We're taking care of some weekend chores you can't ignore this week. And homeowner Melanie Robinson and I have moved to her backyard to deal with a drainage problem that's eroding the foundation of her patio. Well, Melanie, the fun part of all this, you get to play with all these nice toys.
Awesome.
So if you want to just feed that right in there.
Okay.
And I will get rid of this old splash block in here. This thing's been in here for a while. It's not doing much good at all right now. Oh, look at it. Look at that.
Wow.
That is not helping at all, so we're going to have to get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, you're doing perfect. There we go. All right, while you're finishing that up, I'll do all this technical stuff over here. What I have here is this little extension boot.
Okay.
Grab that and point it straight this way, and I'll hold this so that it doesn't just kind of manhandle it there. Just keep going. Okay, now stretch it out like this. A little bit more. All right, now that's not the prettiest thing right now, but at least for right now, we're diverting it away from here. That way, all of this water that's coming off this big expanse of roof, coming down and getting completely away from your foundation.
And that's the important thing, yeah.
But in order to get the water to the downspout, we have to clean off the roof above it. All right, Melanie, you better get ready for some leaves there.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
A leaf blower is a great solution for roof cleaning anytime, but especially here because this flat metal roof just isn't sturdy enough for me to walk on. But some of this stuff is so matted together, it isn't even budging. Well, this is a lot worse than I thought. I'm gonna need a rake up here, I think.
Okay.
Thankfully, the really bad stuff is close to the edge of the real roof, so I can reach it with a rake and shovel. But Melanie's little gutter garden along the outer edge, well, we'll have to clear it out from our ladders. Oh.
Wow. I had no idea it looked like this up here.
Well, it's kind of hidden, you know, with not being able to see it really from any place in the yard.
Yeah.
And it was pretty thick in here, but just this little bit. It won't take long, even though I know you'll be sad to miss your little garden.
Oh.
You throw off that way, I'll throw it off this way.
I'm ready.
All right. It'll be so easy for your husband to maintain this.
I'll make him do some housework now.
Yeah,
since
yeah,
I've
there
done
you
all
go.
this out here. So he owes me.
Yeah. Are you sure you want me to pull this up?
I've said my goodbyes.
You said
Get rid
your
of it.
Once most of the leaves are gone, we can flush the gutters with water to clear them and the downspouts below. Now on to those roof repairs. The loose flashing in the front gable is a very easy fix. All I have to do is drive down the loose roofing tack. It came out before, it's probably going to come out again, so I think I'll put another one near it and add a new one for good measure. Yeah, that should be fine. Then a little roofing cement to seal the deal. It'll be good. This flashing that's pulled away from the chimney will be a bigger deal, so Alan's pitching in to try to help me get it all sealed up. Alan, make it over here. I want to show you something here. You know, Melanie had mentioned that she was getting a little bit of rain in when it rained hard.
Right.
I wonder why.
Oh my goodness. Golly.
You know, I can't figure that out unless probably when they put the new roof on a few years ago, maybe that was still attached.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of pulled away, because I don't see any nails or any fasteners, so they relied just on
Strictly
the
on some adhesive
mastic
there, yeah. Right, where's your bag of tools?
Yeah, you got some stuff in there. And it's just a big hole all the way down in there. Look at that. So you can see the brick down below it
So
right
I'm surprised she hadn't had a lot more
there.
water
there
inside.
may be another flashing or something under this.
She said they were getting some water? Is that what she said?
Yeah, but she said only during heavy rains, which I don't understand. It seemed like this would be a complete trough.
Danny, there's got to be at least another layer of something down there. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
this goes deep.
I know it, but the thing is, well, you know what it is? I bet they added this cricket diverter roof on top of it. You see that flashing you have right there?
Right.
Yeah, right. This same piece?
Right.
I think that's originally where it was.
So it was a smaller cricket?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. Or no cricket at all, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Either way, the next step is to chisel and scrape off all the old dried roofing cement and replace it with a generous bead of new cement. Then begin attaching the flashing with our masonry screws. But the screws just don't seem to be holding up the way we need them to. That ain't good.
Yeah.
Get it.
A little soft.
That mortar's just too soft. I'll tell you what, I got some nails. Let's switch to nails.
All right, that's
Okay.
a lot. Fluted masonry?
Yeah. Now that our plan B is working,
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yes.
That's snugging up.
yeah, that's great.
All right.
Just a matter of gradually pulling the flashing up tight to the chimney, one nail at a time. Then we can coat the top edge of the flashing and the nail heads with plenty of roofing cement to ensure we block out the rainwater. Hate to say it, but I almost have no tar on my hands yet at all.
Well, that's you're gonna jinx yourself.
Probably got it all over my pants or something. Jeanette asked, what can I do to keep water from seeping into my basement when it rains? The main thing you need to do to keep that water from sneaking into your basement is make sure that none of the rainwater will be allowed to gather around the foundation. Now, guttering's a great way to go. Bring the downspout down and maybe extend the downspout like these homeowners have done to move the water further away from the foundation. But they got a little more work to do here, because the border grass like this, or if you have any type of edging, will serve as a dam, and then during heavy rains it'll still push that water against the foundation. Sooner or later it will find its way in the basement. Now, another thing that they've done here that's a great idea is they're in the process of adding some fill dirt that will divert that water and keep it from ponding in this area. Now, once they get their mulch back in place and a few little plants here and there, you'll never know any work has taken place other than no water in the basement. The small jobs we've been helping Melanie wrap up this week at her house should save her some major repairs down the road. Alan, you know we've worked with a lot of homeowners over the years. Quite a trooper here.
Well, you know what it is. We've done so much of the honeydew list. We're kind of like family now.
Yeah, we are.
So here's the deal, Mel.
Okay.
Since we're family, I think we should be here for Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
Can I give you my birthday, anniversary, things like
New
that?
Year's Eve's awesome around
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I heard.
As long as you'll work on the other things on my list.
Oh, there's always something there. Hey, I hope we hadn't gotten you in trouble with your husband, some of the things we said during the show. Look, maybe take him out to dinner when this show airs. So.
That'll be good.
And we'll come back another time sometime when it's a little cooler, maybe inside?
That would be nice. That'd be nice.
No hot
Till
ones.
then, I
That's a
gotta go.
deal. That's a deal.
Okay.
Good seeing
take
y'all.
care.
Thank
Hey,
you
hey,
so
great to see you
much.
and everything.
You
We'll see you
too.
again.
Bye.
Hey, it's been a lot of fun taking care of just some of the little chores, the little things that can really turn out to be some big money costing items later on. So you can see some of them are very simple and can really solve a lot of problems. Hey, thanks for being with us this week. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week here on Today's Homeowner. Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to like, comment, and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified of new videos.
And be sure to click around and watch some more videos while you're here.